It is normal to have disagreements with siblings, cousins, and even our parents sometimes. We may say things to our parents in the heat of the moment in an argument. However, there are some things you should never say to your parents no matter what. Before we begin, please subscribe to my channel. 1. I wish you were dead. This is a horrendous thing to utter. We should not say things they will live to regret. Wishing your parents' death is awful. There are many people without parents who wish their parents were still alive. Rather, love your parents unconditionally no matter how irritating they get. Be grateful you have parents. 2. Never undermine your parents' appearance. Telling them they are too short or that they don't know how to dress is underrating your parents and is very malicious. The way they look probably has a lot to do with the sacrifices they made to give you a better life. Try complimenting them every now and then. 3. I wish you weren't my parents. This is one of the most hurtful things you could ever say to your parents. They chose to bring you into this world and to love you and guide you. However, as an adult, look around at your friends and their relationships with their parents and then assess your own situation. It is probably better than you think, especially if your parents are still married or, if divorced, both are still around. 4. You can't tell me what to do. As long as you live under your parents' roof, you are obligated to do what they tell you unless it is iniquitous. And even after you move out, you should have respect enough to at least listen to their opinion. If you decide not to heed their advice, you can find a more respectful way to tell them than by using this phrase. 5. I don't need your advice. Something that all of us need is advice. You will never be too old for advice. And whether or not you actually heed that advice is another story, but do refrain from telling any of your parents that you don't need their advice. Besides hurting them, it will hurt you because they will never forget that comment, and a day may come when you really do need their advice and they may not give it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. 6. Telling your parents to shut up. This is something I've heard parents tell their children while they're under duress, but I've heard of a few cases where a child and even a grown child said this to their parent in front of others. This is the height of rudeness and disrespect. God will not be pleased by this, and you break the 5th commandment by telling your parents to shut up. 7. I hate you. This is one of the things you should never ever say to anyone, but especially not to your parents. No matter how they treat you or what they say to you, you should try your very hardest to not feel hatred towards them. At the very least, even if you do, try not to voice it out to them. 8. I don't care what you think. So maybe you don't care what they think. Maybe you don't care what anyone thinks. But there's no need to voice it out, especially in such an impetuous manner. You risk hurting people's feelings and making yourself look ugly and prideful. And your parents should be the first people whose opinion matters. 9. My spouse is better at. If you tell your mom that your wife does a better job of doing this or that, or if you tell your dad that your husband is much better at something that he was, then you've probably hurt their feelings. To tell your parents that your spouse is better at something than they were is very dishonoring to them. 10. I am ashamed of you. Some people are ashamed of their parents because they are ill-educated and feel ashamed to introduce them to their friends. There's no need to tell your parents that you are ashamed of them because they will also be disappointed in you. Never be ashamed of your parents because of their health issues. 11. I'm tired of helping you. As your parents age, they are going to need your assistance more and more. Hold back a minute and deliberate of all the times they have helped you. Everything from your first steps, learning to write, helping in your college years, etc. It is only right that you step up to help them in their golden years. Remember the golden rule. Do unto others. 12. Screaming at your parents in public. Screaming at your parents in public or in front of friends is absolute insolent. No matter how angry you may be with them, never bellow at your parents at all. It will surprise you that some people fight with their parents and even assault them. Can you imagine? Remember the golden rule. Treat your parents in a way that you would like your children to treat you. If you like our videos, please subscribe and hit the bell notification to receive our next educative videos, and share our video to your friends on Facebook and WhatsApp. Thank you.